We are live, episode 5, the Minutemen Pod. Today's date is August 6th, 2023. And John, we're back for good. Last time we said we're back,
It's
but we're
officially
back for
football
good.
season. It's officially football season. They're starting to hit each other. The Patriots are back. They are back.
So we're a couple weeks into kind of the full swing of training camp. A lot of off-season moves that we kind of haven't touched on live on the pod yet have gone down. We're just going to go through a little off-season wrap-up just to kind of get that part of our lives kind of put it away, wrap it up in a nice little package and put it in the back burner because the season has begun. We had the Hall of Fame game this past Thursday, Jets and Browns. What a
Zach Wilson fell on his face his first third down. It never gets old.
What a snooze fest that was.
Yeah, that was terrible.
But back to Patriots football, John. Let's just wrap up our offseason little things that we haven't touched on yet.
Yeah, so last time we spoke, D-Hop was visiting the Patriots. I mean, we all know that went down. And about couple weeks later, he chose to sign with the Titans. Honestly, I know a lot of people are upset. I do think it would have been a great addition for us. Don't think it's the end of the world, but definitely could have used an alpha.
Yeah, no, I agree. We're in the Titan blue right now as a little tribute to losing D-Hop. But, I think he missed out. I think we missed out. He can go.
And honestly, I think he missed out. Like, what are the Titans building over there? What are they building? They got Mike Vrabel and Derrick Henry. I can't name more than 4 guys on that roster. They are a dumpster fire. They're a dumpster fire.
I know, I couldn't agree more. To be honest, it was weird how the only 2 teams that he was seriously considering joining was the Patriots and Titans. If he actually wanted to win like a Super Bowl this next year, Patriots have a better chance than the Titans but there are a lot better teams that on paper, just basic quarterback play on paper. If you want to win a Super Bowl, go team up with Jalen or Mahomes or Hurts or
why not go team up with Mahomes if you want to win? Like,
I know,
they don't
right?
really have it. They don't have an alpha.
Mahomes.
Yeah, for sure.
But all in all, missed out on him. We were able to extend a couple good players, some cornerstones on defense, and a guy who could be, our number 1 this year in Devontae Parker. I thought every move was great. I know John did bad podcasting. John did a grimacing face there, but
I like the Bentley extension. I mean, he's a focal point of our defense. He's the leader. Yeah, I mean, I think he's going to retire Patriot. Love the extension. Parker, though, I mean, basically it's practically a 1-year deal. They moved a bunch of money into this year, extended him, yada, yada, yada. So it's a 1-year extension, guaranteeing him some money. I mean, the guy's got to produce. He hasn't produced in really, honestly, 3 years. I don't know if it's physical, mental, he just doesn't want it. Like, he's got to step up this year. He does.
I agree. I think the reason he hasn't produced and we haven't seen the numbers is because he can't stay on the field, but the best ability is availability. So it's kind of a big prove-it year for him. And again, like you said, it's pretty much a 1-year deal. We have a great out. If he goes out and he shows out and is a number 1, we're getting him first deal. If not, whatever. But Bentley, I thought that was great. And that's just kind of how. And also to add on extensions with the Judon one, which happened more recently, pretty much moving all of his money into this year to give him a bag. So we'll just kind of see where he's at next year and the Patriots are at kind of moving forward.
And I'm very, very, very happy they did not extend his contract. I mean,
I agree.
He's going to be 31, maybe 30. I think he's going to be 31. He's still a dog, but he really plays half a year and he disappears the second half. So, I mean, he's worth the money, but I'm happy we didn't extend him for another couple of years.
And to note on that, I'm glad we didn't extend him too, because what if Uche comes out and has like a 16, 17 sack season, Then we know we can say
Judon and you paid Uche.
Yeah, we say thank you, number 9, but we're giving that number to someone else next year.
Exactly. And the last topic we wanted to briefly touch on is just Jack Jones. Tough situation all around. We'll talk about him a little later, but it's really unfortunate because the guy's got literally all the talent in the world in what you want in a cornerback. We'll see how that plays out.
What a tough go at it for Jack Jones.
I mean,
right?
What is he
Then
thinking?
the tweet of him chirping like Ja Morant from like a couple months
Yeah,
back,
that
and then this
was.
goes down. Have you
I
seen
know.
like there's videos of reporters talking to him, and they're like asking him questions about the He's like nonchalantly like
Yeah,
smiling, being
he's
like,
smiling.
I can't, I can't
Like
talk
it's
about
a
an ongoing
pretty
investigation.
serious accusation,
I
or
know.
whatever you want to call it.
I
But
when it happened, I was like, I don't see where he gets out of this. Like,
no,
I don't see what world you don't like the SWAT
no,
team doesn't jump on the moment
I
the
shocked.
clips and guns are pulled
It
out of April.
and
He's
from
on
a
the football field
football,
right now. We'll take
and
it.
I am shocked. Belichick has stuck by his side. I would have thought he would have been released 6 hours after that came out. Honestly,
No,
I
I
mean,
think it's a.
I was, and one more thing, I was getting flashbacks of Aaron Hernandez. I remember where I was, however long, 10 years ago, sitting on my couch saying he's not guilty. He's not guilty, but crazy, just crazy stuff.
I think it's a precedent thing because what if it comes out that this guy isn't guilty, and he's released and kind of all that. I think they're kind of sticking with their guy until proven guilty.
Yeah, yeah,
So it's kind of this or that. It kind of reminded me also of like Chandler Jones when he smoked the synthetic marijuana and he
yeah,
ran down the street naked. I
yeah.
was like,
That was
everyone
wild.
is like, it's one of those things where you're like, did that happen? Like,
Yeah.
am I reading this correctly? Did that actually
Oh,
happen?
I completely forgot about that.
Yeah. So
That
it
was
was kind of
great.
that.
All
Um,
time Chandler Jones Patriot moment.
but Chandler Jones, he's still in the league. He was an All Pro after
Yeah, for
that.
sure.
So I
Yeah,
think this could be the same situation where they know they have a raw talent,
yeah.
um,
You're just
but
gonna
they just
mold them.
don't. Yeah, last time they said, "See you, Chandler," but this time they're
Yeah,
going to try to hold on.
yeah.
All right, off that situation, we'll go into just kind of training camp and how it's been. John, you made a trip down to training camp. How was that?
Yeah, no. I didn't go. I do need to get down there. I do
John,
need to get down there.
John, the local resident of Foxborough, there. He's
I mean, I was thinking about going to the first preseason game, but then I was just like, why would I spend my time at a preseason game where I can just watch it on my couch?
yeah,
Um,
analyze it better. I agree.
exactly. You can watch from first to the end of the game and just be in your own home.
Preseason
But
games are only fun to go to if you're with like the group of the boys and your sole
oh
purpose is
yeah,
to go there, tailgate, get absolutely
yeah,
obliterated, and
yeah,
watch Bailey
yeah.
Zappi play 4 quarters.
Max and I actually went to a preseason game a couple years back. I think it was
Redskins.
the Redskins and the
Kirk
Patriots. Yeah,
Cousins. It was Kirk Cousins
was it
last year
Kirk?
as a Redskin.
Was it?
Yeah, yes, it was his last year as a Redskin
Wow, that was a while ago. Oh my
because
god.
it was our last before we first went to college.
Yep. Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
So it was Jesus,
Was
almost five,
that
6 years ago.
was that the yeah, that was 2018. That's the Super Bowl year.
Super
Yeah.
Bowl year. Yeah, Super
Yeah.
Bowl year.
Wow. Time flies. But let's get into it. Training camp, football's back. I mean, there is really nothing like it. You got your beat reporters on Twitter all day long just
Yeah.
scrolling. But really, I've noticed just it's a breath of fresh air for the team, the organization. Really think Bill O'Brien has changed just everybody's attitude and thought process, and I'm here for it, and I'm excited to see the product that they unveil.
Yeah, no, I agree. It's a lot of reports that have came out kind of with that Billy OB offense connect was the offense. It's still kind of a new system again. So this is Mac year three new systems. Not a new system, but like a new OC,
Yeah, for sure.
a new head man. It's going to be a new system, kind of in theory. Um, a lot of people were saying people know what they're doing. It doesn't look as smooth yet. It's still kind of the timing's a little bit off, but like there aren't plays where no one knows what they're doing. Everyone's kind of following the playbook. It doesn't look like a backyard football explosion.
Yeah, and two excuses for Mac and the offense. One of them, the offensive line is just not healthy, and that is a major problem we will talk about. But the other one is for the first 5-6 days of training camp, they were working strictly in the red zone. No structure. Jasicki said we're not running any sort of structured plays. We're just getting out there, getting open, trying to get the lay of the land, and that's where they stunk last year. So that's where
Yeah,
O'Brien thought that was the most important aspect to get them going. And I love it. Love it. Love it. Love it.
Love it, love it, love
Uh,
it.
but yeah, and I also do think Juju Smith-Schuster wasn't a huge fan of him previous years. I do think he's a good dude, and I really think he's
Because
brought
he
a
acts like a
new
toddler.
yeah, but he's brought a new he's bringing fun. Like Mac Jones said himself, he needs to have more fun on the football field, and Juju will help him do that. And I think it's good for the offense and everybody.
I don't know if Mac needs to have more fun on the football field. I think he needs to lock in and laser focus.
I think he tried to do that last year, but Patricia and Judge
No, that was a headache. That
made it
was a
not
difference
fun.
from laser focus. I honestly, I don't really want to see anyone have fun. I just want them to win, and I want them to be laser focused and go back to the olden days where that's all it was on the field. You didn't see them like jumping around, hooting, and hollering until the game was over.
Yeah, and that's having fun though. You're kicking ass and you're celebrating
Yeah, I know,
after
man,
that.
but
That's
I
having
don't want
fun.
them like getting a first down and then Juju doing like the gritty.
I could totally see Juju doing that too.
You know what I mean? He does some like Dragon Ball Z like
Yeah.
it's like Juju, dude. It was 2nd and 3. You
Yeah.
just caught a hitch
Caught a
route,
4-yard out, dude.
4 yard hitch route. No, I agree.
But
I think just all in all, kind of like you said, like vibes in the building, vibes on the field, like everything's a lot more positive this year. Whereas last year it was a bigger question mark. There is still a
yeah,
question mark because we haven't seen this group and everyone together on the field, so there's still a question mark. But there's no way it's as big as it was last year. This year it's much more focused. It's like all
it's
right,
more structured. It's more
yeah,
structured. Like from what I've heard at the camp from the different beat reporters, um, even some of the players, no false starts. The guys know where they're like. They did. They didn't know where they were lined up last year. Okay, that's the first problem. Now they know what they're doing. They know the routes they have to run. They know their job. So improvement all the way around. But I do want to I want to break down the offense a little bit, some position groups, then we'll get to the defense. First, we're talking about Mac. We'll stay on Mac. Mac needed a reset, and he's here. Mac Jones here. He is going to lead the Patriots to a playoff win. Book it, August 6th.
yeah. I agree. Mac, it's a huge. It's just everything's huge for him this year. Up until the first time he throws the football and until like the first drive, first time he's handed off, like every little detail is going to matter. I don't think he's on a short leash, which is good. I think Billy O's kind of. I mean, one, we haven't really heard New England come out and say like Mac Jones is our starter, which is kind of concerning. But
Which
that's
is
just
ridiculous. Not
that's
concerning.
just Bill.
Ridiculous.
That's just Bill, though. It's still a young quarterback. Mac didn't have the best year last year. There's two ways you could go about it. You could say, this is my guy, and that's how you push some people with confidence. Or you say, it's an open competition, and that's how other people get pushed.
It shouldn't be an open competition. And everybody that chanted for Zappy last year should
All
never
right,
be
dude,
allowed
we
back
get it.
in
We get
in
it.
Gillette Stadium.
We get it.
Nobody.
The listeners and myself are tired of hearing you talk about that game, dude. Jesus Christ. There's going to be some people that turn this thing off when they hear you go. The fans that rooted for Bailey Zappi at that game should be castrized. I think you've said it every single time we've turned the podcast on. I'm serious.
Oh, you're not wrong. You're not wrong.
But going back into the quarterback group, what are we doing with Trace McSorley on the roster?
I mean, he's just a camp arm. You always need 3 camp arms, 4 camp arms.
I guess, yeah.
I don't know, for the third stringers.
I think McSorley and Cunningham both get practice squad, and we just run 2 QBs.
Yeah, for sure. But Mondre, this is a topic I really want to discuss. I think Bill he's started to really give guys like veteran rest days, and I'm here for it. He gave McCourty a couple the last couple years, but Mondre, I mean, he's on load management. He's on the load management grind. Trent Brown, same thing. Not yeah. And Judon was holding out, but I saw David Andrews, John Jones took a bunch of days off, and I think it's going to help him in the long run.
Yeah, I agree. I think that'll kind of help later in the season. I think Mondre's definitely going to need like a huge load management because last year, I mean, he was healthy. We did kind of start to see him get a little dinged up there in some
Yeah,
parts of last year, but now there's definitely no Damian Harris to kind of help bail him out. Where Damian Harris, I mean, him and Mondre are kind of the same, skill level. I think Mondre adds a little
Mondre's
bit.
much more
He,
talented. Yeah,
yeah, he has more tools in his bag than Harris. But I think you line them up and you run them both straight downhill, it's going to produce the same result 8 times out of 10.
yeah,
Um,
and we did have James Robinson. They released him, but they worked out Zeke. They had Mac and the
there were
great picture.
chirps
Him,
about Dalvin Cook. Little
yeah, no, Dalvin's he's going to be a Jetter Dolphin, unfortunately. But Zeke, I think Zeke would be the perfect addition. The perfect addition. You get him out there 5-6 rushes a game, but more importantly, he's a great pass protector, and
Yep.
that's really what we were missing the last couple of years without James White. And I think that'd be a boost.
Yeah, does Zeke ring a bell to anyone else to you in the one of the previous dynasty teams?
No, I'm not following you.
He's just kind of screaming like LeGarrette Blunt to me. We're gonna use him in the red zone, pass blocking, and he's gonna have some games where he has flashes of his own old self. Now LeGarrette was more of our number
Yeah,
one guy when he was on the team. But I think Zeke, man, he's always found the end zone. Even last year with the Cowboys, he didn't have that good of a year. He had a
he
lot
had
of
like
touchdowns.
15
Yeah,
touchdowns though.
yeah. Like when he's in the end zone, when he's in that 5 yard gap, that's just what he does. He gets in the end zone. He knows how to do that.
Yeah, for sure.
Um, I think on a team where we're using Ramondre pretty much for a whole drive down the field, having a guy who can come in and just actually find his way in the end zone, I think that's going to be great. And he
Yeah,
stays healthy. He stays relatively healthy. He's
yeah. He gets
played.
banged up, but he plays through it. He
Yeah,
plays
he
through it.
he has stayed relatively healthy his whole career. For a running back
Doesn't
um,
really fumble either,
of
which
that size.
Belichick
Yeah, no.
loves.
But we'll see. Maybe the money's not there. We don't know. But I think other
Yeah,
than that, if we go into the season though with the running back room we have right now, I think
not sustainable.
we could be in trouble later down the year. I
Yeah,
hope Monte stays healthy all season, but today, it's a very unrealistic ask for a number one workhorse back to stay healthy throughout a whole year. That's a very
yeah,
unrealistic ask.
for sure. I completely agree with you. Would love to see him in a Patriot uniform. Next position group: receivers and tight ends. This is going to be my favorite topic. We can start with Pop Douglas. He's been the MVP of camp so far. Um, I think so. Zay Flowers went in the first round, and he's a little more talented than Pop Douglas, but similar build, similar playing type, smaller guys, but quick, shifty, doesn't drop the ball much, and I think he's going to be. He's good. He's exactly what the Patriots look for in previous slot receivers. Twitchy athlete, can run all the short to intermediate routes.
Yeah, I agree. I do think it's going to be, um, you know, to get him the ball, he's really going to have to play like at an upscale level because of guys like Juju, Bourne, even our tight ends, Gasicki and Henry. We tend to use them in more like those short intermediate routes a lot. Our running backs,
Yeah,
we're only going to be throwing the ball 28, 30 times a game. Like that's kind
yeah,
of been 40 if we're down, if we're trying to come back. That's
yeah.
kind of been our MO the past couple of years. So, there's not a lot of targets and we have a lot of weapons on the field that need to go around. So Pop Douglas, I mean, he fits into that role of that, 6-5 reception Edelman type guy. But to say right now, I mean, he's still lower on the depth chart. But I agree. I've heard a lot of noise about him, so it'll be exciting to see if we can have an electric player, someone like a Tyreek Hill come out for the Patriots like
Yeah.
that. I mean, maybe he may not be on that level, but you know what I mean. A
Yeah,
type of
no,
player
he can get
that's a
open.
breakaway
Like,
guy. Yeah,
he's a
that's breakaway guy.
separator. He can catch the ball at the 42-yard line and bring it for a touchdown. That's really what we're missing in this offense, which is why everybody was clamoring for a number one receiver.
Yeah, and another to note on that, the number one receiver, we saw the reports that it was the Patriots and the Cowboys that were in that bidding war for Gilmore, and we talked about it off air, and we were like, if that happened, we're probably going JSN or Zay Flowers at that pick.
Crazy.
Yeah, and not going Gonzo, but I'm kind of glad it didn't happen.
Yeah, Gonzo's going to be a dog. We'll get to him in a little bit. But the next rookie, another rookie receiver, Kayshon Boutte, same thing.
Yeah.
He really struggled to start,
Slow
but he's really
start.
come on. Yeah, really struggled. He's come on the last couple days, and I'm not sure what he's going to do in the preseason. This prediction could be wildly false and not true.
Yeah.
But I think it would be a mistake to waive him. I personally, if I were Belichick, I'd put him on the IR, let him sit for a year, because we really don't have that many wideouts the next couple of years under contract. You let him sit, you give him a full workout regime, see what he can do next year.
Yeah, no, I agree more. I think the gap with him is he has his physical attributes, which will always be there, and then his mental attributes to the game, which in this offense, it's going to take a while. If someone's not with it, if they don't have that automatically, it's going to take a while to kind of integrate yourself in that. And I think we saw a lot of that with other wide receivers we've had on this team in the past, to where, they had the physical. We drafted them based off their physical attributes. We drafted a number one wide receiver in the first round based off his physical attributes, but he showed up and he was like the big dummy that was on the Goonies.
And now he's wearing number 28 for the Vikings.
And his claim to fame was stepping out of bounds against the Chiefs.
Oh my God, what a moron!
But I did a shout out to N'Keal Harry though, just to get John's gears all grinded up, because he thought he was going to be an All-Pro.
I completely agree with that. We've seen it for years, N'Keal Harry, but even like the vets that we brought in,
even Tyquan Thornton.
Yeah, I mean, what is Tyquan Thornton?
Still kind of slow. A second round wide receiver. There's been a lot of great wideouts drafted in the second round.
You see all these videos on Twitter? George Pickens went 2 picks ahead of Tyquan Thornton. Can you imagine that? I mean, insane.
So I'm just saying, it's, he had the physical attributes, a little bit less on physical, more just speed. But, he played a lot last year. He was out for most of the season, but he played a lot of games.
And I completely forgot we're talking about adding speed. The guy runs a 4.24. Like I don't know what his deal is. I really don't.
But I'm excited to see. I think I'm most excited out of everything in this offense. I'm excited to see Gesicki and Hunter Henry pair up together. Now I really hope Gesicki can continue his play, and I think he fits our offense a little bit more than Jonnu did. Jonnu was definitely an athletic tight end, whereas our offense has kind of transformed away from needing that, Jonnu Smith, Kyle Pitts guy, to where we need a guy who's going to be able to block on third down and then go out and just catch an end zone pass. Run a good route,
run down the seam, catch the ball, fall.
Take advantage of the mismatch, catch the ball and fall. I think Gesicki and Hunter Henry are yin and yang with that, to where they're both kind of the same. They have good hands, they run good routes, they know how to find the seams in the defense. They'll slide to the open spots. They're not worried about catching the ball 2 yards behind the line of scrimmage on a screen and running it 15 yards down the field.
Exactly. And Gesicki's not a great blocker, but you just need him. He's got such a big catch radius that I think that's going to be huge for Mac in the red zone, which is where we struggled last year. And Henry, I'm really excited to see Hunter Henry this year.
Yeah, he's not a great blocker, but we'll have a third tight end on roster who will be kept on the roster solely because he's a phenomenal blocker.
Yeah, for
Out of
sure.
all,
For
we
sure.
have a couple no names that are on the roster right now at tight end.
Yeah, Matt
But
Sokol. I think he's going to make the roster.
yeah, I agree. Has he been on our roster before?
He's been on the practice squad back and forth. I think.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I think we'll have a tight end show up and blocking then, and we'll see them. They'll get a lot of playing. They won't get a lot of routes, but we'll see them on the field in tight end
Yeah,
packages.
for sure. And really the last group on offense I want to touch upon, the sad group, is the offensive line.
Really sad. At one
Yeah.
point last year, we thought they were gonna, like, just on paper, we were like, this could be the best O line in the league. It's just pathetic what Trent Brown's turned out to be. Really.
See,
Think
I don't
about
even
it.
know if it's Trent's fault right now. I think they're just load managing him so he doesn't get hurt.
I know, but those 2 years with Skarnecchia, man, he was a force to be reckoned with.
Oh, nobody would touch Tom on that come from that left side.
I mean, he's a little older now, but come on, man. Andrews
I
is
know.
getting older. He'll play half the
he's steady,
season.
though.
He'll play half the
He's
season.
steady.
Though. He's going to keep getting injured, but that's it. It is what it is with that, though.
Yeah.
You hope he stays healthy, but in reality, he's it'll be really tough for him too.
Yeah, and in the left side, like Trent Brown, say you get there's 17 games. Say you get 13 games, 14 games, fine. I'll take that. I'm not really worried about the left side, honestly. I'm more worried about the right side. And Wenu's still recovering from off-season surgery.
Yeah,
I mean, he's the best offensive lineman when healthy. But
Yeah.
the last position is really. I think we should
who's
kick
playing?
Wenu out.
Is it the old dude?
No, it's that old dude, Riley Reef, who should
Riley
retire
Reef?
5 years ago.
And Anderson?
And Bill threw $5 million guaranteed to him. Not sure what that was about, but we can get to that in the offseason.
Maybe that's a coach up for like a Cole Strange type deal. We don't know, but
They play different positions. I don't
all you
get
gotta
it, but
hope is that we have a good scheme to where we can somewhat bail the O line out. We can really the workhorses on the O line. I hope Cole Strange has a huge sophomore leap. I mean, he has a great opportunity. He put some weight on too.
he did.
So he is a.
I'm not really worried about Strange, honestly. He's a great athlete.
I'm not either, but I mean, you
works
gotta
hard.
remember he's a first round draft pick. Like
Yeah, no, I know.
this
Jeez.
could be a time for him to kind of people to say like, all right, there's a reason. Last year you could say like, all right, he was good. He wasn't a bust.
No,
He wasn't a
he was
bust.
fine.
Yeah,
He was
but
serviceable.
but this year you could say like, there's a reason the Patriots drafted this guy in the first round.
Yeah,
they
exactly.
they saw the work ethic. They knew he'd be able to make this sophomore leap, which a lot of people sometimes come in and they sputter out and fail,
Yeah,
which
for
probably happens 80% of the time. But
Yeah.
I'm excited for him and kind of see where he goes through the season.
Yep. And yeah, no, I completely agree with you. All right, so shall we hop on to the best defense in the NFL?
Man, I'm jacked up. How could you not
Oh my
be?
god. Oh my
How
god.
could you not be?
I am so excited to watch Kyle Duggar absolutely take people's heads off. I am so excited.
So here's my thing. Do I think that it's bad for our offense's development that our defense is this good?
No, and
They must be getting like no confidence plays.
no, and from what I've understood and read, the offense has played like relatively well. The defense, Adrian Phillips has actually said multiple times, we never see the same thing twice, which is a complete opposite of last year. And I think the offense is I mean, they're playing relatively well for the best defense in the league. Nobody really left the defense besides McCourty, who retired. Everybody's still intact, so that's a unit that knows each other inside and out. And they're so versatile. It's gonna be wild to watch.
Yeah, something I was about to touch on is this is probably, I think, with the exception of maybe Duggar, like I wouldn't even add the safeties, but like the safeties are cornerbacks. Everyone in there, I feel like could play any of the positions on the field to where the point is like we have like a secure secondary of just a bunch of athletes running around out there.
And going down to the linebackers, if it's third and long, you could put Bentley as an edge rusher and put a bunch of the safeties as the linebacker. I mean, they're so versatile. You can linebackers.
Jabril and Duggar. I'm hoping Jabril and our defense
Jabril's
this
gonna
year
have a
is
big
a
year.
huge year. I think he's
Big
having a
year.
huge year. He's playing special
Yeah.
teams too. Like he loves
Oh,
that
he's
shit.
healthy. He
He
loves it.
loves that shit. He
He
does. He's like
loves
a
it.
bulldog.
Oh, he's the best. Nobody better.
Give me
than
bark.
Jamal.
Give me dog bark, John.
Nah, I can't give
Come
you
on.
dog bark.
Give me a little dog bark.
Roof.
All right, we're cooking. And Mills, I'm really glad he came back. And then just kind of the rookies, right?
The
We
rookies. The
we
rookies.
drafted a lot of them on defense. Not a lot, but
Yeah,
a
first
good
3
serviceable
picks.
amount that can be secondary versatile.
Oh yeah, I mean, starting with Gonzo. Gonzo really, from what I've read, he hasn't really missed a beat. It's just been the speed. Nothing looks too slow for him. He doesn't look out of place, which is great for a first round cornerback.
Yeah, he's been on the first team reps too all week,
Oh,
going up against the
since
number
day
one
one.
wideouts
Since
all
day
week.
one.
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
they threw him into the fire and they said, "You're a
Yep.
first round cornerback. Go fucking play like it, buddy." And I
Yeah,
think that's
I
what you
mean-
need to do. I think those are the expectations as fans we need to have for him too.
Yeah, and from what I've heard, pre-draft he doesn't like to tackle. That's not what I've seen. I saw he laid somebody out last week. I mean, we're so deep in the secondary. It's crazy. I say it every day. It's wild. Um,
To be fair, I think that's valid. He doesn't need to tackle. It's a business decision. Go out there, play like prime, intercept the ball, punch the ball out. Don't let them catch it. If they don't catch it, you don't have to tackle.
Yep. I mean,
That's what me and
I
my
guess-
boy do down in Colorado. We go out there. I stay prime.
prime.
I stay prime.
Prime.
I done lost my left leg. I stay prime.
Oh, did you see that video yesterday of him?
Yeah, he was talking like a
Yeah.
goofball.
Yeah, it's funny. But yeah, so the 3 best corners on the roster when they're playing together: Gonzo, Jack Boy outside, and then John Jones in the slot.
Cactus Jack.
Cactus Jack. when those three are out there, game over. And now we're on the topic of Jack Jones. Let's talk about him.
Yeah.
Football player.
Football player, phenomenal went on, but has some inconsistencies.
For
Could have
sure,
been just
yeah.
rookie bumps. Could have been rookie bumps, which a
Yeah.
lot of it probably was. Hopefully it'll be ironed out this year. But man, he's going to have the spotlight on him. If he's out on that field,
I know. See, I don't want to talk about his legal issues anymore. I already talked about it. But what worries me is the other day at practice, he had a temper tantrum, like stormed off.
that's who he's been, though.
You're
That's been
grown.
known. Like,
You're a grown man.
he had some violence issue or something like that at ASU. Like, that's who he's been.
He did not. No, he did not. No,
What
he did
was
not.
it? He had some issue.
Armed robbery.
Yeah, he's had these weird issues in the past. Like they drafted him knowing he has like these
It
issues.
sucks because he
and
seems like
mental
a good
issues.
dude. He seems like a good dude. And they are good dudes. But okay, yeah, Jack Jones, great corner. Hopefully he sticks around. John Jones, Marcus Jones, not much needs to be said. Solid.
I'm really
One-
excited for Marcus Jones too, though.
Yeah, I mean, they can put him anywhere in that formation.
I love that fucker.
Oh, he's the fucking best. He really is.
He's the best, dude.
He really is the best.
Seeing a guy who's like our height on the field just dominating is probably one of
I
the
know.
greatest things to see in sports.
Oh,
like,
that
that's
punt
just an
return
average-
against the Jets. Every time I see it on my timeline, I have to watch it.
Yeah,
Just the best. And the last secondary guy I want to cover is Isaiah Bolden, 7th rounder out of Jackson State. He runs like a 4.3. He's been punt return
HBCU, the
too.
only player of an HBCU to be drafted.
Yeah, I mean, and I saw a little clip on Twitter, like Prime saying this guy's can be, if he like knows his potential, he can be really good. And he's still way too raw to probably even play, but stash him for years,
prime.
see what he's got. So we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. I think Isaiah Bolden, he'll have to make himself serviceable on special teams big time.
For sure. For sure.
That's another thing. I was talking to someone else about this. Watch the preseason games and watch the special teams only because those special teams, like the punts and the kickoffs in the preseason, are probably the most electric punts and kickoffs for the entire year. Week 1 starts, it doesn't matter. No one gives a fuck. They're all fair catching, everything like that. Up until then, like all the preseason, even in the the Hall of Fame game, I don't know if I vividly watched all the punts and kickoffs because those guys are hauling ass. It's a bunch of no
Oh,
names out there just trying to lay people out, and it's
I mean,
great.
they're fighting for their jobs.
Yeah,
They're
it's
fighting
great.
for. They're one of the last 3 guys on the roster, and they're fighting for it. It's
Yeah,
awesome.
that's when the Patriots play Thursday against the Houston Texans. I'm gonna be pumped to see special teams. You know, the first time we punt, like I want to see who gets down there first, like who's tapping
yeah.
the guy first. So that's gonna be really cool to watch.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, why don't we dive right into our friend Marte Mapu? Stud. Stud. That's it. He's a stud.
Yeah.
I don't even need to see him. He's a stud.
Yeah,
I mean,
I
he's
think
just,
he'll be one of those guys. I hope we look back in a couple years and be like, what a draft pick. You know,
Yeah.
put the C on his chest. You know, he'll be a leader out in the field. He's a physical specimen as well. Just the versatility
God.
that he's
Yeah.
displayed already.
yeah.
So-
He's so valuable because he's so versatile.
I hope it's one of those
Safety,
things though. The mental gap
slot
closes
corner.
real quick.
Yeah, from what I've heard, he's extremely smart too. So
Yeah,
we'll see.
So,
I mean,
but
they're
we'll
going to
see,
line
yeah.
him up everywhere.
you have to see. That's what I mean. There's going to be a huge learning curve for him.
Yeah.
You just got to hope he's up for it. And if he's up for
Yeah.
it, his physical abilities will be able to take him as far as
I
he
mean,
can go.
they're rolling him out there with as a starting linebacker next to Bentley. So
Yeah, which would
I
be
mean,
dope.
that's be awesome.
Patriot linebackers succeed when they're the smartest player on the field. It's always kind of been that way.
100%. And
They've
usually
never
are.
been they've never been the most physically talented. They've been great at what they do,
which
but
is dumb.
they are
They
smart.
thump.
Yeah.
They're
Bentley's
thumpers.
a thumper, Hightower thumper, even the old guys,
Spikes.
Brewski thumper, Spikes, Mayo thumper.
Oh yeah.
What's up with Gerard Mayo? Do you see they didn't name him like DC or
yeah.
like
That's fine. I don't think that matters.
I don't know. He was getting head coaching interviews.
Yeah, but then Kraft basically told
I
him,
guess
like,
it doesn't matter to him because if he wanted it, they probably would have given it to him.
exactly. Yeah, and yeah, I think he said like it doesn't matter. Steve and I just call the plays. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, linebackers, another deep position group. Safeties, bring them down in the box. Do whatever you need.
The linebackers are they're sneaky deep though. Like not a lot of people will know about the depth on our
No, I
secondary.
agree.
Though we have some names in the secondary that have been talked
Yeah.
about in the league. Like we have some names,
Yep.
but our linebackers are sneaky deep. A lot of people, if you like look out on a service coming from the outside, you'd be like, oh, they have Bentley. That's it. Like they
Yeah.
don't Jelani
And I
Tavai.
don't even think people
Mac
know who
Wilson.
Bentley is.
Yeah,
That's
they
the
just
issue.
know because he just signed like a good amount of money, you know. So people
Exactly.
be like, "Oh, if he's making
Yeah.
X amount, like he must be pretty good."
Yeah.
But the other guys, I think they're going to take the league by storm. I'm excited to see them all play.
Oh yeah. It's year 2 for a lot of these guys, so we're playing fast. Want to
Going
talk
up
about
to
the
the edge, the D line.
Yep.
A lot rides on the D line.
And it really comes down to, I think 3 guys, honestly.
Definitely the least depth we have at defense is the D line.
Yeah, which is kind of unfortunate because
It's unfortunate.
that's where Bill builds his defense around is those 3 edge rushers.
Yeah.
Or 2 edge rushers and a middle guy.
Lawrence Guy, is he
interior.
back? Is he back?
Yeah, he's playing.
All right. Well, he's consistent.
He's just a
He's
meat
there.
stuffer, dude.
He's consistent.
He just clogs lanes. That's all he's good for.
I like him. He's consistent.
He's great. Him and Godshaw, great nose tackles
Yeah.
or whatever you want to call
Goodaux.
it. Yeah. Godshaw.
Goodaux. Yeah, they're
Tigers.
consistent. I think Keon White could be a huge.
And, I'm
X factor.
forgetting about Keon White and Dietrich
Yeah.
Wise. I'm forgetting about those 2. We're fine.
Yeah,
fine.
Wise, yeah. But Keon White could be an X factor. You know, he could
Yeah.
be a guy who turns it on if we put him down on the line and don't drop him back, which it's
And did you see
what
that
we've heard.
picture
It's
of
still
him
kind
today?
of. Oh yeah, he looks yoked.
Oh, he is going to absolutely destroy Aaron Rodgers.
He would use you like a toothpick to pick the ribs out of his teeth. That's what he'd use you like.
Yeah, I mean, him, Judon,
Barmore has a
Uche,
chance to have a great year
Barmore,
too.
and Barmore. I forgot about
Yeah.
Barmore.
No,
Barmore.
Barmore has a great year, a great opportunity ahead of himself. Like really does.
And this is what I think is the most important. The X factor is Barmore. You want to know
Yeah.
why? If you get a double on, it really comes down to Judon, Uche, or Barmore. You get a double team on either one of those guys. Any pass run, any pass play, you get a 1-on-1 for one of those guys. Those guys are winning a 1-on-1 every single time.
Mm-hmm.
So it really comes down to those three guys, in my opinion.
Yeah.
So we'll see. But the last position group, the specialists. I mean, I've heard the punter is actually unbelievable. He's a rookie kicker, Chad Ryland, been unbelievable, big leg. So I'm assuming those two guys will make the roster.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, is Folk?
He's still on the roster, but he just doesn't kick the ball very far.
I would have a hard time seeing a team not picking him up though if we don't.
I mean, like he's really not that good. He's good from inside 40, but
Yeah.
he can't.
Like, do you think we have him as our special point guy, like our extra point guy?
No.
I don't. There's no way you go two kickers on the roster.
No, you can't. You can't.
Yeah.
We have so many guys that deserve roster spots that no, you can't give it to two kickers.
Yeah. No, I agree. I'm excited
Bill's
to see.
done crazy things, so you never know.
No, I'm excited to see a new punter and a new kicker and young ones. Hopefully, they come in and do a good job. So I think that'll be really cool.
Yeah, completely agree with you.
All right, moving forward, kind of just wrapped up the entire, the remaining of the off season, kind of what we've seen throughout training camp, everything. It's been great just to see that football's back on the field. But we have a game Thursday night.
Let's go.
Against the Houston Texans. If we want to do a little game prediction of what we think is going to turn out of this game, I'm going to say score prediction is going to be 24-10. Patriots take it. I think Zappe plays 2 quarters, and I think we see McSorley, maybe Cunningham. I find it hard seeing Cunningham get reps in the game. But I would see Mac plays a drive or two. Zappe comes in for the rest of the first, and then probably McSorley finishes. No, Bailey will play probably, 1 quarter, maybe a little bit of the second, but I see McSorley playing most of the game.
You want to know what I think is going to happen? I think Mac Jones, I'm writing this down right now. Mac Jones will play 1 quarter. Bailey Zappe will play 2.
1 full quarter?
Yep. Bailey Zappe will play the second and third, and McSorley will play the fourth because he's not making the roster anyway. But
does Mac drive down the field and score on the first drive?
Of course, without a doubt.
Yeah, I think he does too.
And guess what? He's going to be so jacked up in July.
But I think he goes over to the camera.
He's going to be grinning all the way back to the sideline, and Juju's going to be ripping that Dragon Ball Z.
I think he grabs the camera and screams just, Patricia! I'm coming for you!
Week 1. We have Patricia week 1.
Patricia!
I forgot about that. But yeah, really looking forward to watching the Patriots. Honestly, I know people don't like the preseason. I like week 1 because you get some of the starters and you got to see what the rookies can do. So really excited.
Special
about
teams.
That.
I'm pumped for the special team. It's going to be awesome.
Jamario Douglas too and Butte. Want to see what they can do. Two big receivers. So we'll see.
We'll be dropping pod as well after that first preseason game as a recap and breakdown of everything we saw. So be tuned for that.
And it's officially football season. We're going to be dropping once a week. Tune in, buy some merch. The Minutemen Pod.
Some merch.
Support the boys.
Shout out NetSuite.
Shout out NetSuite. The merch buyers. Shout out NetSuite.
Peter Pocket Change.
Yeah. Shout out Peter Pocket Change.
All right, and we're out.
Go Pats.